Hello and welcome to the GCW rules update for 2026. There are a lot of big changes, so we're going to give it just a couple minutes to let people kind of file in, and then anyone else will have to listen to the recording back and won't be able to participate in the live Q&A that will follow every rule. There are quite a few, so the way we're going to do this is I'm going to go through them, starting with well, they're all impactful, but what I determine to be the least big changes, making our way down to the biggest big changes. And after every rule I cover, change I cover, we're going to have a mini Q&A. I'll read through the chat, so kind of just check things out and see how we're doing. I see we have 7 people in the Discord audience. Shout out to all of you. I didn't realize you guys were there until right this second. So right on. Discord, YouTube. You can't see me. Don't worry. You're not going to be able to see me. You don't have to see me. We're focusing on just the rules this time. So I will spare you guys the fate of looking at me. If you're on the Discord, I'll turn my camera on so you guys have to look at me. So sucks to be you. Anyway, I think let me pull my little thing back up and I'll start reading and we'll get right into it. Preface. These rules are going into effect in April of next year for Vale's Edge. The upcoming Flames of the Rebellion event in Florida will still be using the 2025 rule set that we've all known. So these things are things that are happening, and the next main event, Vale's Edge, they will be in effect. But for anyone and everyone that should be going to Flames of the Rebellion in Florida, these rules will not be in effect. We've got that covered. I'm sure it'll come up again, and that's fine. I understand. But for Florida, we are not using these rules. We're using the 2025 rules. I'm going to say it 1,000 times because I probably am going to have to. All right. The intent. As the Galactic Civil War escalates, the Empire has I'm tripping over my words already. I haven't done this in a while. Forgive me. The Empire has intensified its presence across the Outer Rim. Deployments have increased, supply lines have tightened, and Imperial forces are now equipped to press their advantage harder than ever. These changes are designed to reflect that by reshaping how players engage with and approach combat. Gone are the days of long, drawn-out shootouts that see more players fall to fatigue than the enemy. We want combat to be tense, dangerous, and impactful, so every action could potentially turn the tide. Players will need to think, move, and act more carefully as we aim to better portray the lethality of a galactic civil war. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready and excited to dive right in. First up, ammo capacity changes. Where's my image slide? Boom. Make every shot count. Ammo capacities have been slashed across the board. The base player may now only carry 300 rounds. That's it. That is less than an Odin Speedloader carries. The assault player may carry 1,000 rounds. That is about exactly how much an Odin Speedloader carries. The ammo droid grants an additional 1,000 round carry capacity. So, this is hopefully going to encourage some more companion droid diversity, as well as reloading other mags on the field. So, check that out. Heavies get 1 drum or 3 high caps. And utility droids have a carry capacity of 5,000 rounds and can still carry these magazines. Now, you may have noticed that little Imperial perk supply lines. Imperial players double their ammo carrying capacities. So the base Imperial player is carrying 600 rounds. The Imperial assault player is carrying 2,000. Their heavies are carrying 2 drums or 6 high caps. That's a lot. As a rebel, we better start hitting that firing range and practicing our groupings. Get them a little tighter because it's going to matter a whole lot more. So that's kind of our first big change, and if you weren't here when I first said it, we're starting with the least big and moving to the biggest big, so that should kind of set the tone for how these changes are going to go. So if we have any questions, I'll give it a couple minutes and we'll go through them. Just kind of checking right now. I got some good viewership turnout. I guess you guys are as excited as I am. Take a sip of my water. Not seeing anything. Someone's typing in the Discord, so I'll give them a moment. Don't worry. I should have also added this in the beginning. This will all be posted in the Discord announcements following this stream. So once I'm done here, it'll be posted for everyone to see on the Discord. You guys are just getting to see it first, and you're getting that the opportunity to ask all the questions. All right. How is 40 millimeter shower grenades counted in regards to ammo capacity used? So any that like ammo in dang, I'm tripping over myself hardcore tonight. Shower shells, the ammo in them is counted from your count. So if you're like, let's say you're an assault and you have 1,000 round carry capacity, any BBs that you include in those shower shells is part of that 1,000 rounds. So, if you've got, we'll say 700 rounds loaded between magazines for your weapons, that leaves, 300 rounds to be used for your shower shells. So that 1,000 rounds for assault players, that's divvied up however you want to divvy it up. 300 for base players. So if you want to put some in your shower shells, that's fine. If you want to put some in your primary, it's really up to you to count it out. So can I carry 10,000 then if it's double for Imperial as a utility droid? If you are an Imperial, if your ticket says Imperial, then yes, you can carry 10,000 rounds as an Imperial aligned utility droid. Although between you and me, Betty, I don't see you with the Imperials as often as I see you with us Rebels, so it's alright. I know where your allegiances truly lie. How was my Thanksgiving? My Thanksgiving was great. I went and stayed with my mom and then had dinner with my girlfriend's family as well, so it was good. I had a good Thanksgiving. I got to socialize, get out of the house, go back home and visit relatives, and it was a good time. Thank you for asking. But I think, unless we have other questions, I guess people maybe we do. I'm gonna give it another minute. I'm gonna wait till 6:07 before we move on to the next rule. I've got like 5, 6 more of these. All right, he stopped typing, so it's 6:07. We're gonna move on to our next rule. Bump, ba bump, ba bump, 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 bump. In addition to ammo capacity changes, Bacta's getting restricted. Bacta system overhaul. Bacta is now only available in game. Do not bring your own. Do not fill your own Bacta vials. You can only fill them in game. Hopefully, it will be blue in the future instead of clear water. We will have Bacta dispensers that cannot be moved, sabotaged, or tampered with. These will, you guys know what a Bacta dispenser is. It's the big totes we've been using that may change. That remains to be seen, but as of now, they cannot be moved, sabotaged, or tampered with. Dispensers may dispense into vials, sprayers, or canisters. The Bacta canister may only pour into dispensers. Empty canisters can be returned to the spaceport for a credit reward. Ooh. So, faction access. Yeah, we're not all equal here in the Galactic Civil War. It's a rebellion after all. The Empire will start with a full Bacta dispenser at the Imperial base, and they will receive regular Bacta canister shipments to refill their dispenser. The Rebel Alliance will start with a low-level dispenser at the start of the events and will receive irregular supply drops of Bacta canister that must be recovered, or we can steal the lootable Bacta canisters. Keep that in mind. For unaffiliated players, the Bacta Clinic has a random starting supply with dynamic pricing based on stock levels. Players can help increase clinic supply to reduce fill cost. So, that's a pretty big deal. Gone are the days of, well, let me just fill up my vials from my canteen. No, you will refill them from the dispenser at your base, or the medic can use their sprayer still to fill your vials if they choose. But Bacta is going to become a much more tightly controlled resource. Us rebels are going to need to play a lot smarter. Someone asked earlier if there's a shop that sells reloads. Yes, I believe unaffiliated had to reload their mags at the weapon store previously. and that has not changed. So the blaster shop will still be selling reloads, as far as I'm aware, subject to change based on availability. So yeah, that's kind of the big deal for Bactas. It now comes. We now have 3 levels of it. You know, the dispenser's the big thing you're all used to. These canisters are a bit smaller. If you're not on YouTube, you're missing out on my funny visual aids. About the size of the canisters from the Battlefront games. So those will be used to refill your dispenser. You cannot refill your vial from the canister, only from the dispenser or a medic sprayer if they want to let you do that. Guys, this is a big deal. If you ask me, we got to play a lot more carefully. We can't be throwing our lives away because I'll just, I'll just go revive or, what have you. And it may make you wonder, do I want to use my vials to be revived right now? Or is it worth it just to bleed out? And, it's something you got to think about. And I expect that factions getting low on back, they're going to start playing a lot more carefully. So if we have any questions on that, let me read through these. Supplies of huts or perla. These groups have their own supply lines in units be reflected. That is a very good question. I believe it is if you guys were reviving at the back to clinic previously, it's the same thing. So I'll admit I never played hut or perla, so I don't know where you guys were reviving, or refilling your back to vials. I should say, but if it was the back to clinic, then that is the same thing. You are dependent on that back to clinic supply for your back to supply. So in theory, a faction could fully run out of back to. That is correct. If you in your faction burn through your dispensers, you're not getting your resupply drops. You're not getting canisters and refilling them. You may run out of back to, and then every bleed out is just 2 minutes of sitting there doing nothing until you can go back to respawn. So this is a resource we've got to be very careful about, and we're going to want to manage very carefully. Melee back on the menu. Stealth eliminations are always on the menu. Man, melee is one thing I think everybody wants, but everybody except the insurance company wants. So if you guys can convince the insurance companies to let us hit each other, then who knows? Maybe it'll get added. But until that day, you better start aiming a little gooder. Ladle kills. The blue Bacta tastes better. Folks, do not drink the Bacta. You don't want to know where we get it from. I promise. Do not drink it. You don't want to know. Even back when it was clear water at previous events, I promise you don't want to know where we got that water from. Just don't drink it. Just don't be drinking it. All right. If we have any questions or concerns, I have a DM already. That's bad. Oh, never mind. That's good. Thank you. I will check that out later. That's a good DM. Da, 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 da. All right. He is lying. It's not super powered water of knowledge. It is hut bath water. Oops, spilled the beans. All right, I think we're good to move on. If I have to go back and do more Q&As on it, I will. Next up on the list, dun dun dun, smoke grenade update. I don't know why I'm doing it musically. This is a musical rules update now. All smoke grenades are now provided in game. Players may not bring their own personal smoke grenades to be used. They are now restricted devices. Restricted meaning restricted in our out of game rules. You cannot use and bring your own smoke grenades. Now you may be thinking, you may be wondering, that's a strange rule. I know we're using blue for the heavies. Why restrict the rest of them? That's because of the very next rule I'm about to tell you about, dummy. Dioxis gas. We're adding dioxis grenades. They will be represented with yellow smoke. Now, these dioxis grenades are illegal weapons for civilians to use and own. Illegal meaning illegal in universe, not illegal out of universe for you to use, but illegal in universe. So there's in universe, in character consequences. Misuse of dioxis grenades causing civilian casualties may incur war crime penalties and faction consequences. How do these work? The effects and usage of Dioxis grenades. They count as one thermal detonator slot. When thrown, you guys know how these smoke grenades work. There's a plastic tab, you pull that off, and there's a pin, you pull that pin, and there you go. Dioxis gas. Throw it quick. They count for one thermal detonator slot. When a player enters or finds themselves within the yellow smoke cloud, that starts a 30-second count for the player, and they must call out Dioxis. 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 Now, being within, I know this is going to get tricky because smoke grenades blow crazy, and that's on you as the thrower. If it's a windy day and you're throwing it in an open field, you might be wasting your Dioxis grenade, so use them carefully. Now, a player that has been affected by Dioxis must receive Bacta in 30 seconds. So the second you notice, oh shoot, that smoke grenade landed over there and it's blowing onto me, I yell out Dioxis. I have 30 seconds to receive Bacta. I'm not downed, but there is this little timer that has started. If I do not receive my Bacta in time, I am immediately eliminated by the Dioxis, which bypasses all bleed out, even if you are no longer in or near the yellow smoke. What about players with... I'll answer that in a second. Each new exposure during the same life requires another Bacta treatment or results in an elimination. So let's say someone throws a Dioxis grenade behind some cover that I'm in. I call Dioxis, I leave that area, I don't get shot, I get to a medic, I get my Bacta. So keep in mind, I'm up and still playing and shooting, and I have to consume a Bacta. I get that, and then I go back into the smoke. I have to now receive an additional Bacta treatment. So it's not one and done. Every time you are exposed, you need another treatment. And it's worth saying that droids are, in fact, immune to this. So droids don't care about Dioxis grenades. Now, someone asked the very good question. What about players with gas mask or cannon full seal helmets with air filters? This was something we did debate internally for a while. And for now, we are going to say you are not immune. The way Dioxis works in universe, it's the super chemical that eats through a lot of that stuff. So at least that's how it's been represented recently. So for now, we're saying no. That may change to reflect balancing and making full seal helmets a little more useful. But for now, no. If you notice that you are in the gas or it is blowing on you, you are affected by that Dioxis. I've said Dioxis so many times, that's just a fake sounding word. Can you self-administer Bacta for Dioxis exposure? That's a very good question, and I'm going to let Chris, aka 6mm Mando, answer it. The man himself. He will answer that super good question if you can self-administer Bacta for Dioxis. He's typing right now. He's going to answer that great question for you. Shout out to the YouTube audience. I hope you guys are enjoying my cool memes. Now, the answer Chris gave is only those with a medical droid can self-administer their own Bacta. So we're sticking to the tried and true. You do not ever administer your own Bacta unless, of course, you have a medical droid, in which case that little droid buddy is administering it for you. What other questions did we have on Dioxis grenades? Will there be other gases added to the game? Possibly. It is entirely possible. That's part of the reason we want to restrict smoke grenades, is we want to leave that room open for us to add new and cool stuff. So, for now, my answer is possibly. If we have any other questions on Dioxis grenades, I hope you guys like my little image. I realize that the images are probably pretty small and pretty low quality for people that are watching the YouTube thing. So this is the scene in Phantom Menace where Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are in a room being filled with Dioxis gas. So that's the funny thing I thought was hilarious. What would we be looking at for war crime penalties? Asking for a friend. That's something that's going to depend on the events, the context, a lot of different things. We're not going to have like a set rule, because when we set rules like that, we're like, the penalty for blank is blank, we're restricting ourselves, when it's much more interesting to say, well, this faction would have had a cool questline offered to them, but the populace hates them because they're using Dioxis grenades like crazy, so now they're not getting it. We're leaving that room open to ourselves for it to be more impactful and tailored to the person that's actually committed it. So Empire using Dioxis and committing war crimes, their consequence may be different than if the rebels are overusing Dioxis and committing war crimes. Uh, da, 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 da. Definitely keeping on that roll. Yep. So I mean, who knows? And that's something that we may look at, after Veil's Edge. Like, hey, should full steel helmets be immune? It's possible. It's entirely possible. We're always looking at feedback and how can we make the game as fun as possible. I don't want to say fair and balanced because I think fair and balanced aren't the same thing as fun. We want to make it as fun as possible. All right, any other questions? I'm not seeing anything, but yeah, you would definitely probably get heat because these are, like I said, illegal weapons for civilians to own. We're going to talk more on some illegal stuff right now with the next rule, which is thermal detonator legality. Carrying or possessing thermal detonators without proper Imperial arms authorization is illegal. You don't do it, it's illegal. Don't break the law. Authorized license holders, authorized arms users include Imperial personnel, obviously, Perla Corporation employees, and active Bounty Hunters Guild members. That's a key thing, active members. Just because last week you might have maybe helped someone out on a hunt, don't count. Gotta be an active card carrying member. Consequences: unauthorized possession or use of a thermal detonator will result in the administration of heat. That's a biggie. So now I've gone over now, I believe it was 2 separate illegal items. You might notice a running theme here. All right. So, any questions on that? Going once, going twice. I'm going to move forward kind of quickly because I'll probably answer some questions with some of these following rules. You see, Dioxis gas and thermal detonators ain't the only illegal items in the Outer Rim. This next change is what I would consider to be the first of the 2 big changes. These are changes that I want to clarify. We have discussed in depth. We have reviewed countless survey responses, player feedback, all kinds of things. So these changes come from a genuine desire for the good of the event and the health of the event. So keep that in mind. But the custom repeater mod is being removed and replaced with modified power packs. So the custom repeater mod, as you've known it, which is a one-time purchase, grants you full auto, aka short burst with your weapons, is removed. We are replacing it with modified power packs. A modified power pack, when purchased, you will choose one short style mid cap to be marked with high vis orange tape. That is your modified power pack. The function of modified power packs: when the modified power pack is loaded, it allows the player to shoot that blaster in short bursts of 4 to 8 BBs. Yeah, this whole short controlled burst thing, everyone has a different idea of what a short controlled burst thing, so we're saying it is 4 to 8 BBs. Now, this only is usable on blasters under 1.5 joules. Modified power packs are also illegal for citizens to own. That is all non-Imperial personnel. Imperials and the Perla Corporation may issue heat to anyone that is caught with a modified power pack. How do you get them? Non-Imperials can purchase at black market rates from the blaster shop. Imperials may purchase modified power packs at a discounted rate via the Imperial PX. Now, I will state immediately that custom repeater mod owners will receive a 150 credit per slot refund for owning the custom repeater mod. So anyone that had it, you're getting your credits refunded, and don't worry, we're not stealing that from you. Additional rules. What did I say? Did I not say 1500? It's 1500. So 1500. That's how many credits you get back for your refund. Oh, I said 150. My bad. You get back 1,500 in credits. The cost of your custom repeater mod. Now, there are more rules to this because there's a lot of caveats and things that need to be explained. The actual magazine will be marked with high vis tape around the bottom so that it is visible when loaded. So I should have had one within arm's reach. The M4 shorty mags are probably the most common. We're going to put high vis orange tape around the bottom of that magazine. So if this is your gun, when it's loaded in, that high vis orange tape is sticking out showing. So LMGs exempted or included in that. LMGs don't need modified power packs. They already have full round burst if you're a heavy. So, but anyway, like I was saying, blasters without external mags can't use it because you can't have a showed magazine with the orange tape. So that's something to think about. If you're walking around with your modified power pack loaded in your gun and Imperials or Perlas see you, that's an illegal item. They can issue you heat. The assault class and ammo droid companions may reload these mags on the field. All others reload at their base or spawn. Up to 2 additional power packs may be purchased, so you can actually have 3 different magazines with which you can shoot full auto with. And ammo inside these mags does count towards your total carry limit. So, in addition, with the BB limit rules, a non-assault player with a base ammo capacity of 300 rounds now needs to think a little carefully. The intent behind this is to, because this is our big one, so I'll probably elaborate on it. This is our first big one, so I'm gonna elaborate on it a good bit. The intent is, we noticed that the heavy class was losing a lot of its class identity. The prestige perks are nice, but they don't help non-hero players. So the custom repeater mod, while nice, needed to be addressed because it was like the elephant in the room in a lot of surveys and a lot of feedback. It made resilience feel kind of useless. If everyone can just shoot you 5 times immediately, what's the point? It made heavies feel pointless because a guy with a blaster rifle and a custom repeater mod can do practically the same job. So hopefully with this addition, that ability to use short burst is still a tool in your tool belt. So like if I, as a rebel, know I'm about to be fighting some really armored Imperials, I might go ahead and load my modified power pack so I can burst them down. Versus if I'm just on patrol or on a regular mission, I might keep it unloaded and I'm gonna save it for a rainy day. And as someone else has pointed out in chat, full auto isn't super common on screen anyway. And as I said earlier, we're much more interested in doing what's fun than what's fair and balanced, because fair and balanced do not equal fun. I'm a little concerned about Empire getting good payment and cheaper upgrades. Yeah, I would be too. But that's kind of the point. Like, they are an empire. They have the weight of an empire behind them. They have supply lines. They have logistics. They have all the things that the people living in the Outer Rim don't have. They have all the things that some rebels setting up, living out of a single cruiser, going from place to place, don't have. So yeah, the Empire is supposed to have better pay. They're supposed to have more upgrades. They're supposed to be powerful. As my favorite Lieutenant Kean Shea has said, being a rebel, embrace the suck. Like, if you, as a rebel player, don't like the idea of being the underdog, you should reconsider being a rebel player. I'm just kidding. Do what you want to do and have fun. But like, that's the idea, right? Rebels are the underdogs. Same with a lot of the unaffiliated. You're going up against an entire galactic empire. Unfortunately, we can't have TIE fighters and TIE bombers strafing the air and like super Star Destroyers overhead. But what we can do is make playing as an Imperial feel really powerful and really rewarding. So, okay, the Discord chat is going crazy. Let me check YouTube chat. See what questions we have. Do-do-do-do. If someone purchases a modified power pack, can they divvy out those to squad mates? Are they tied to the player? That's a good question. And one thing, okay, tied to chain code. Yeah, they are tied to your chain code. They are your personal magazines. So you cannot pass it off to somebody. You cannot give it away. You can purchase the upgrade for somebody. You can be like, hey, here's 1,500 credits. Go buy some power packs. Think of it as the power pack itself is modified, but your personal blaster is also modified to handle that power pack. That's why you can't just pass it off as needed. So for my little reference image here, I tried to put some like high vis orange tape on the external mag of the Stormtroopers E11, and it did not come across very well. It just looks like he has an orange sticker on his gun. So good for him. Does that mean bounty hunters might be able to use it in the future? Did I say it was? I mean, you have access to military grade equipment in the form of grenades. That's a big one. So, you know, you can use it, but if you're caught using it, it's a whole thing. Now, keep in mind this is the Galactic Civil War going on, so I would say the reason every non-imperial is restricted is simply because the empire doesn't want to put any more weapons in the hands of its enemies. Sure, bounty hunters normally under normal conditions would be given access to this equipment, but as the war increases and goes on and things tighten down, the empire is restricting what non-imperials have access to. As this rebellion becomes more of a nuisance, they're going to start restricting what they allow bounty hunters to use as well, because that bounty hunter tomorrow could be a rebel. So, something to consider. Okay, now that is one, two, three different items that I've just told you are illegal in game in character. What does that mean? Why does it matter? Is a better question. Somebody asked, "Are you able to hide the modified power pack on your person with not in use?" Thank you for that great question because it leads perfectly into my next rule update. Uh, Player searching is being updated to where Imperial and Perla members can now search living players. These, because we have so many different items that are illegal and different things of contraband, that needs to mean something and carry some weight, right? So if you're walking through an Imperial checkpoint or you're acting kind of sketchy in town, these authorities might see you and they want to search you without just shooting you and being like, all right, do you have anything on you? In addition, that only before searching only applied to purple loot stickered items. Now it applies to illegal items. Now you don't have to give them up. You don't have to say, "Oh yeah, I'm carrying 3 grenades. Here's my 3 grenades." You don't have to give them up, but you will receive heat. So to search a living player, you place one hand on their shoulder and you say "searching" out loud, and you hold it for 10 seconds. What being searched reveals is all contraband, all loot items, and contraband includes thermal detonators, dioxis gas, and modified power packs. The target of a search must reveal all of these items immediately upon being searched. If you're an operative, however, you can conceal things. Now, normally loot has to already be carried out in the open anyway, so like searching's not a big deal for that. But operatives were always able to conceal loot. Well, now they can also conceal these contraband items. So if a non-operative goes to search you and you're carrying some contraband items as an operative, you don't have to reveal those things. So potentially, if you're trying to walk through a checkpoint, you might be like, "Hey, bro, hide my power packs for me. Hide my power packs for me." And you can say, "I'm just holding it for a friend. I'm just holding it for a friend. It's not mine." That's the idea. So it's kind of a little buff to operatives as well because now they can carry these things without having to reveal them. So How does this impact the operative ability? I just covered that, I think. Unless you have further questions. To reveal stuff, do you have to show it, or for convenience, can you verbally tell them what you're carrying? See, this is where honesty becomes a thing. With airsoft being our combat medium, honesty and integrity has always been the key foundation of that. If it is too much of a burden to be like, yeah, I got a modified power pack here in my mag pouch. You caught me. Give me my heat band. Like, let's say you have a backpack on and you're wearing all this armor and it's in the bag. If you can say I have it in the bag, but generally, you should be able to pull these things out pretty quickly and like show like, yeah, I got grenades in this pouch. And again, you're not giving up these items you own, except for loot items. If like they say, well, I'm taking that loot from you. Um, if you're downed, I mean, then yeah, you got to give up the loot if you're downed and they give it. Uh, but contraband cannot be physically taken from you. You just get heat for carrying it. Let me read through the check up on the chat to make sure. All right. Let me clarify. Let me correct myself. If you are downed and someone searches you, you do not have to reveal your contraband unless you are being searched by an operative. So, if me and an Imperial are in a fight, he shoots me, he comes and searches me, he can't put heat on me for carrying a modified power pack unless he is also an operative. So, now, granted, if I used it and I shot at him with it, yeah, he can put heat on me. But if I have a grenade in my back and my pouches somewhere, um, he can't give me heat for that unless he's an operative. Once he's like searching me and I'm tapping me out while I'm downed, you don't get heat for having contraband grenades and pump packs in your body after being dead or such. Man, I'm like killing it on the timing for your questions, Kian. Yeah, unless they are an operative, then they can give you heat. But no, you do not have to reveal contraband when being searched while being tapped out. Only for the living search. Like, I'm alive. Hey, you, come here. What's in your pockets? I'm searching you. Then you have to reveal contraband. Imagine like you're being patted down. Besides, you wouldn't put heat on a dead body, right? I mean, you would. If you're an operative and you search them and they have contraband, you can put heat on them. All right. Any further questions, clarifications on that from the YouTube or Discord chats? Not seeing much. I think we can go ahead and get into the last big final update. This is the big one. This is the one that I'm expecting the most questions and requests for. So, yeah, good clarification, Artie. So for the living search, um, this is a role play event. Role play, for all the Perlin and Imperial guys out there, if you just walk up to someone and ask and go searching, that's lame. Like, role play it up. Play it Imperial. Be like, hey, you, come here. What are you doing here? What's in your pockets? You mind if I'm gonna search you and you're gonna deal with it? Let's role play a little bit. Let's roll. We got the space NFA before GTA 6. Dang, that's crazy. For anyone just joining us, don't worry. These rules will be posted in the Discord following this stream. So don't worry if you're late to the show. It'll all be posted later, and this video can always be watched back afterwards. Yep. If you need clarification on the rules in general, check the website. They will be updated and found there as well. So gotta make sure I'm not getting messages on DMs on Discord telling me I'm doing this wrong. All right. I'm gonna jump into the last big one. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. Because Plastoid Self-Revive is changing in a big way. It is now a consumable. Players with the Plastoid Armor perk must also carry a blue kill sash with detachable clip. Or it'd be like a Velcro one, anything like that. They must carry this in addition to their standard orange yellow kill sash. Yes, Eli, it is not consumable. That is, I am explaining it right now. Self revive rules. You may self revive once per life using the blue kill sash. So if I'm wearing plastoid, I get hit, I put on my blue kill sash to represent that I have armor and can self revive. Removing it and self reviving it breaks, in quotations here, my armor. My armor is used, it is broken. You can represent that by physically detaching or unvelcroing the blue kill sash. Before I can use my armor self-revive again, it must be repaired. If I get downed with broken armor, I use my standard orange/yellow kill sash and I cannot self-revive. Now there are options to repair your armor. The first is to spend 10 minutes at your faction base or respawn. You don't have to die. You can just say, well, that patrol was crazy. I got knocked down and self-revived. I'm going to go spend 10 minutes at base, get my armor fixed, and head back out. Additionally, you can pay to have it fixed at the armor shop. That price will be decided and set later. I don't handle economy things, so you'll have to find out in-game when buying armor how much it costs to fix. Or it can be repaired by the agent. This is the prestige perk for the operative. They can now repair armor. To do this, we intend to have like similar to the splicing game that operatives have, there will be a whole new repair game for them to do. So they'll have a cool mini game. So this is an additional perk for the agent prestige perk. Additionally, utility droids can repair armor using the same kind of perk puzzle thing that the agents can. And finally, spending 30 minutes out of combat, meaning you do not shoot or get shot at, repairs your armor automatically. So it's not the end of the world. The intention is to cut down on something that many of us, myself included, have experienced, where someone is out in the open dead to rights. You shoot them, they go down. A minute 30 later, they're back up. You shoot them again, they're down. A minute 30 later, they're back. And it's just this very awkward, very not fun interaction where you're just shooting the same person over and over again because they can respawn infinitely. And now this harkens back to the first thing I said at the very beginning of this. We want combat to be tense, dangerous, and impactful, so every action potentially turns the tide. Players will need to think, move, and act more carefully as we aim to better portray the lethality of the Galactic Civil War. Gone are the days of long, drawn-out shootouts. It is now much easier to kill players, and it is now a little harder to stay alive. So that's the main thing we're going for here. But I'm not finished. Imperial Plastoid bonus! Oh, you thought the Empire got too many perks before? Well, guess what? They have their Imperial armor. And it's a little better than everybody else's. Imperial players may repair their armor at any controlled capture point, similar to how they can respawn at any controlled capture point. They can now repair their armor by being there for 2 minutes. 2 minutes being the general vicinity. You don't have to be like sitting there with your hand on the box like a weirdo. Just 2 minutes of not being in combat. Not like if you're fighting for the capture point, not the same thing. 2 minutes at that capture point repairs your armor for free automatically. So you can rebuckle the blue kill sash, or you can re-velcro it or re-loop it, however the kill sash works. Now, you will be asked to provide your own kill sash. We will probably have a couple, but don't depend on it. Now, they're like $10 on Amazon for these cool little kill sashes. You're going to want your own. Now, caveat for the night game, you will need a glowing blue LED similar to the red glowing LED for the night game. So, something to be aware of as well. So we're going to read the chats now. They are now sponsored. Yep. So Kian actually bribed us for this to happen. He bought me this Red Bull and said, hey, give me another reason to make credits. And there you go. Yep. So the intention here is to keep plastoid armor strong enough to where people want to use it, but remove the just unlimited constant self revives. Now, you might find yourself in a situation where you have your armor, like it's not broken, but the medic's right there, so we're gonna let the medic revive me instead, or use my Bacta instead. I want to save my armor for a moment when I'm by myself, because I have witnessed too many times. I've done it myself as an Imperial, where I say, "Don't revive me. I got 30 seconds on my armor. I'm back. Don't worry about it." So, um, yeah, we kind of want to get rid of that. It encourages team play while still allowing that kind of on my own thing without rewarding it too much. So armor plastoid will still be valuable without being kind of annoying for people involved. So that's the big one. That's our big change. Um, any other questions? You know, problem with Empire Web was for surface system on the character upgrade then being checked. Oh well. Checking the YouTube chats. Hope you guys like my cool little image. I spent like 30 minutes on Google searching up images of like injured stormtroopers that weren't like overly edgy and over the top. So what you got was this fun little graph. Good art, if you ask me. May the force be with you too, Elav Novak. May the force be with you as well. All right, I think that about does it for our rules changes. Unless we have further questions, comments, concerns. Good point, Gabby. Well said. Again, this will all be posted immediately following this. I might just do it right now. I might just copy and paste my little Google Doc so everyone can go through and enjoy these changes themselves. Copy. Hey, that docs does not allow you to right click. You have to use the shortcut so they get mad at you. That's stupid if you ask me. Control C. Come on over to official announcements. At announcement notifications, because we're supposed to use those and not at everyone. Boom! Oh, message text too big. I hate you, Google Doc. I hate you, Discord. All right, we'll do this. We'll do this a little bit at a time. I'm gonna just sit here and hang out for a while. You guys are all welcome to join me. Stay here if you want to. Anyone want an update on Flames? Hell yeah, I want an update on Flames. I mean, heck yeah. Eesh. Sorry, Liana. Raise your hand, Key, and I'll get you in the call and you can give it to us verbally. Yep. All right, man.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Flames. The struggles of the rebellion after being actually decimated at the last event are going to be much more severe than they were even under the new 2026 rules. If you are coming as a rebel, please know that you will be starting with one mag with quests that will be performed to try to find us more ammo. You will also be starting with one Bacta vial and no refills. That will also be something that we'll be trying for. Also, everybody will be putting their pyrotechnics in a big box, and nobody will be able to use them until a third quest is taken to find us explosives. We are starting Rebel Cell on a secondary planet after having been kicked out of the first planet in this system, and embrace the suck. The event is going to be going on 17th and 18th of January. We're expecting the weather to be nice. There's plenty of hotels and a really good way to do some Batu bounding while you're here. If you make it a couple of days before or after the event and decide that you're going to hit up Disney. Any anybody in town that wants recommendations on anything, this event's fairly close to me. I will be there. I will be selling armor through the Imperial quartermaster or the Imperial headquarters. I'm trying to make a deal with the Empire so that people can just have it marked down that they will not be paid for the entire event, and instead that payment will be directly put into a little box, and you can start the event right there with your armor. So if anybody wants that, it'll be available, so you don't have to wait until the end of events to buy something that you want to wear the whole event. This will also be the only event, only GCW event locale that I will be selling full sets of Shore Trooper armor. So if you want full sets of Shore Trooper armor, this is the place to get it.
I want a full set
That's
of
all for
Shore
my
Trooper
update.
armor. Oh shoot! Someone just told me they can't hear you. I'm so sorry, Keen. About to have to say that all over again. My
Okay, but I'm going to say it in a totally different way.
That's fine. My most sincerest of apologies. I totally forgot. Talk a little bit for me.
Okay, how about now?
Oh, now I need to turn you down. All right, keep talking. Just keep la 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 la.
La la, la la la. Just let me know when the volume is good, and I will start my spiel all over again because of the incompetence of John Husky.
Yeah, that's all my fault. All right, give it to him one more time, Kian. Let them know what they're missing out if they don't come to Florida.
Full apologies there. Whenever someone gets promoted to an officer, whether it be in the Imperial or the Rebellions, they have to get a lobotomy.
Yep.
Um, the event is going to occur, Flames of the Rebellion, 17th and 18th of January. I have actually been out to the site for several games. It's about 75 to 80 acres. It includes 3 different towns and 3 different forts, and plenty of Scarif-like terrain. Based on that Scarif-like terrain, this will be the only event that I will be selling Shore Trooper full sets. So anybody wants to a Shore Trooper full set, they got to come to the Florida events. Additionally to that, I'm trying to work out a deal with the Empire right now that when someone arrives at the event, what their calculated pay is supposed to be has already been done. And if the Imperials are okay with it, the Imperial Quartermaster will just put your pay right into a box. You will not get paid for the event, but that will pay for any armor that you want, so you don't have to wait till the end of the event to get it. Additionally, if you are coming as a rebel, I'm letting you know right now, embrace the suck. We will be extremely low on ammo, 1 mag only. We will be working with exactly 1 back to vial, and we will be working without any sort of explosives or pyrotechnics. There will be quests to allow us to supply ourselves with those things once the game starts, but we are starting out as a new cell that has actually been destroyed and is trying to reform on this world. And because of that, it's going to be a difficult time because if you sign up for the rebellion, you must want difficulty. That's what I have.
Right on. Not to brag, but I was part of the garrison that wiped out the First Imperial Force. But man, that is a tough time. I'm a little glad I'm going Empire this time. Not really. I like a challenge, so I'm sad I'm missing it. But sounds amazing either way. Thank you, Kian, for filling us in. I'm so excited for Florida, despite how not ready I am. But I'm never ready for these events. So I think we can go ahead and wrap this up this stream. I can say thank you to everybody that has arrived to listen to my spiel. I am actively putting the updates in the Discord as we speak. I'm just kind of copy and paste them over because I like the way I wrote it out. So, again, any final questions while I or Kian are here? Feel free to ask. Kian is staff as well, so he can answer questions. He's a knowledgeable guy. Even though he can't see the admin chat, but he listens. That's what I like. What I like about you, Kian. Lord, oh heck yeah, let's get Lord Chef Baka up in Chef Baka. Every chance I get this guy in the stream.
Yo, what up, my dude?
What's going on, man?
Dude, hey, dude, Lieutenant Sand, what an amazing radio voice you have.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him take over the whole uh, podcast thing.
That's a
Dude, yeah.
life. That's a life of public speaking. You should hear my sergeant voice.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. Yeah, I took a public speaking class one time in college.
I couldn't do it. I don't like public speaking.
It was so much fun. I'm so glad I did it. Learned a lot,
Yeah, I just kind of
Well,
let
hey,
those other way.
Husky, you said you're going to Imperial. What are you going as?
Florida is my go-to Empire event ever since the first, not the first one, the last one, which was technically this year, I think. That's crazy to think it
Uh-huh.
was this year. Um, the way we do it is kind of interesting because before they merged with us, they already had their own event, so their own leadership. So we decided we don't want to come in and like supplement our own leaders and be like, hey, we're in charge now. So the Imperial leadership previous is still like the head honcho. The way we run it is the 313th is kind of an inspecting slash reinforcing element that's just kind of here to help out and assist. And my character, Johann Fowler, is a sergeant who was assigned as a sort of bodyguard slash driver to Colonel Van Kyrell. So what I do is a lot of standing around near him or standing around guarding the base. Um, but it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Yeah.
So you're just going as a stormtrooper, or like
No,
what?
sorry. I'm Imperial Army. I have a nice little
Oh,
Imperial
okay.
Army
Yeah, yeah,
kit.
yeah. Okay.
I
All
love
right,
my
I got
Imperial Army kit. I love wearing it. I love fighting in it. I hate taking a knee, but it's a lot of
you.
fun.
Yeah, I've seen you on the pictures. You look good on it,
Thank you,
man. I'm
thank you.
excited.
Now
So
that
I'm excited to finally be on your same team this
I
time.
know, right? I mean, now that he's selling shore trooper kits, I might need to pick one up.
Right? Yeah,
That's
dude. That's a
tempting.
pretty cool little deal, man. Yeah, I'm excited. I just got done printing my armor. Um, and dude, I'm so excited. I got my kids to help me sand it down at school.
Right
It was so
on.
cool, like bringing my armor to school and like showing it to my kids and be like, I 3D printed this. Like, help me sand it down so it'll look cool.
That is
And
sick.
just like, I'm all excited. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm about to start priming it next week. It's been raining, so I'm excited about like getting into all that because I've never really done anything other than helping my crew do their scout trooper stuff.
Right.
So I'm excited to finally like get some armor. I finally ordered my first blaster. I'm super excited about it. I'm
What'd
about
you
to go play
get?
with it next weekend. Man, I got a SEMA AR-47.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just the M4 with the AK mag,
Yeah.
and it's got fully internal upgraded internals. And I went ahead and went with like a lipo battery, and I just chronoed it the other day. Super excited about it. It was shooting like 330 consistent, and then like 26 BBs per second or whatever. So I was like, hey, that's a great
Wow.
start.
Oh, and I've
So
actually ended the stream. Well, give me 1 second. Let me end the stream. I just need to be. I gotta thank the Patreon subscribers and our sponsors. This is so unofficial. This is so unprofessional. But thank you to everyone that tuned in. Thank you everyone that watched. Thank you to the sponsors and thank you to the Patreons for helping keeping this event running. Again, your patronage does not go to me or the podcast; it goes to the event. It is the event that you are helping directly, keeping it running, helping maintain it, and helping it grow. So thank you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to end the stream right